station, so my page, and my assistant did it, but Shelly's promoting it, and I would love to play that during this interview because it's a strong song with that. I don't know if we can do that or not.
We might have
do
to.
the video up here.
We might have to add that later.
Okay.
All right, so.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, what, music or?
Yeah, we're gonna go with music.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. This is JaMarr Brown, host of the Break It Down Brown Show, here with a very special guest, Mr. Carl Wilson. We're going to introduce him in just a second, but before we do that, I want to let all of you know that we are filming and streaming live from the KCWG, The Truth Internet Radio Station here in Corona, the best internet radio on the planet, without a doubt. As always, I collaborate with my good friend and owner of the station, Pastor Starks. We do a number of shows here, and today is the Break It Down Brown Show. And really, the show is all about taking everyday life issues, topics, subjects, and people, and we break them down to learn about their backgrounds, who they are, and really showcase and people that are inspiring the world and making a big difference. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Carl Wilson. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So, and just real quick about your bio. There are a couple of things I think are really very nice to point out about yourself. You started your company back in 2015, CD Wilson Events.
2005.
I'm sorry, 2005.
Yes, sir.
2005. And you're born in Louisiana. You went to Grambling State University.
Yes, sir.
You worked at Dove Canyon Golf Course, which is our private club, which is the golf course there. I played there a number of times when I was in Orange County. And you really developed your culinary skills, event planning skills, worked on weddings. And so that's just a great foundation, I believe, for what you do today. And really, what your company does, you offer great elegance at prices people can afford, which is always a benefit for people. And your clients you work with clients to put together events within obviously elegant and nice events within their budget. That and I know that you said earlier you do about 17 events per year. So. There's a lot that you have going on, and let's just start with just start with before we get into your business. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, my background is I'm from Louisiana, a little small town called Oakdale, Louisiana, about 2 hours from New Orleans. My dad was a pastor, 35 years. He previously just passed about 7 years ago of cancer. So any of my events that I do, promotion events, we try to dedicate something to cancer.
Okay.
The All Women Rock event is dedicated towards cancer. So the American Cancer Society will be there with a booth that we will let them get a chance to get up and talk about their organization. Being from a small town, I was an athlete.
Okay.
Played basketball, played football, everything, the whole gamut. I did get a scholarship for basketball. When I went to Grambling, I walked on. I was a walk-on.
Okay.
And played 3 years at Grambling State University. Also, we worked with the football team as a photographer.
Okay.
Did a lot with them. Traveled with Coach Eddie Robinson, the football team.
Oh, the great Coach Eddie Robinson.
The great Coach Eddie Robinson,
phenomenal.
Great man. He's
Absolutely.
a phenomenal guy.
Okay.
And so after my college career, I went on with Walmart. That's what brought me out here to California. I was an assistant manager and co-manager for Walmart for a few stores out here in California. Then I left them and went into food and beverage.
Okay.
That's where I learned the trade of weddings.
Okay.
Banquets, event planning, and then started Mountain Meadows golf course over in Pomona by the Fairplex.
Okay.
I left them and went to Dove Canyon Country Club, went through 6 interviews to get that job over there.
Right.
Finally got the job as assistant food and beverage director, then food and beverage director, stayed there for a while, went to a couple other courses, left them, and then we started our company, CD Wilson Events.
Well, you know what? You went through a lot in a short period of time. So let's kind of break it down a little bit. Was there anything about your past growing up in a small town, Louisiana, that sort of made you want to own your own business one day or want to do certain things? Just kind of how did your upbringing influence you?
No, that's a good question. My mom worked for the food industry.
Okay.
With the school systems for a lot of years.
Okay.
So I was always a young person. I was in the kitchen with mom. Loved to cook. My sisters did too, but I was always right there by my mom, learning the ingredients, how to cook something, how to boil something, regardless.
Okay.
And going through that and through high school, still cooking, helping my dad barbecue. He was a great barbecuer, and I always had food in my blood.
Okay.
So after that, going to college and everything, and then going through all the process of jobs and stuff, I still had the passion for wanting to cook.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, because you mentioned you graduated, and what was your first job after
Walmart?
Walmart. Okay. And then you went over to a golf course, right? So talk about, the transition from Walmart to the golf course. What was behind that decision?
Well, both of them are dealing with customers and clientele, but the transition from retail to food and beverage was a whole different animal.
Okay.
But I love the food and beverage side of it better because it's serving people.
Okay.
You're dealing with a good clientele of people.
Okay.
And it was fun. So with setups, running weddings, staff. So it was a good transition until where I was when I got to Dove Canyon, then leaving Dove Canyon, then stepping into my own company. So I brought all that, what I've learned and knowledge to my own company.
So at what point, because I know obviously Dove Canyon is a beautiful facility. I love the golf course there. And I know that the pressure to perform there is extremely high because you're dealing with a clientele. And very pressure filled situations.
It's elite type of clientele, but they were some of the most wonderful, classiest people you want to meet. They were down to earth. When I served in my dining room, they talked to you just like they've been knowing you for years, and they treat you as is. So it was a great opportunity to work there.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So you're working there, you're doing well, learning the trade even more, and so what was the inspiration behind wanting to then open your own business?
I was at work one day, and I was married at the time, and I got to a point, I was sitting in my office, and just something hit me.
Okay.
If I'm doing this for Dove Canyon Country Club, I can do this for my own company. It's always C.D. Wilson events. So I called my wife at the time and said, I think I'm coming home. She said, what do you mean? I'm coming home to start C.D. Wilson events. She said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. So when she got there to the house, we had just bought a beautiful home, I was doing my business plan.
Okay.
And I got all my licensing, everything prepared. A couple of months later, we started CD Wilson events.
And part of the show, to break it down, a lot of people kind of are in two extremes in terms of their camp. One camp is they have an idea and it eats away at them and they don't do anything about it, right? And so they can stay at a job even though they really want to do something else. And there's a lot of people in this world that are like that. So I want you to speak to them to share what you encourage them, or how you can encourage them to motivate them to make a move. But then the other camp are those individuals who, say, I something's changed in me and I have to do this. And they call their wife or their husband or whoever and say, I'm coming home. So those are two camps. So talk to each camp.
My thing is there are a lot of people, men and women and young kids also, that have a skill set.
Okay.
I mean, we all have something that we know how to do.
Right.
We just don't know how to go about implementing the plan of doing it. We haven't been taught how to do it.
Okay.
That means you have to do your homework. And I encourage people, get your education, go to college.
Right.
You're going to come out of college with some ideas, maybe not what you went to college for, but you're going to have an idea of what you want to do. When I went to school for communication, television productions to be an anchor person on TV.
Okay.
Did not happen. See what I'm saying?
Right.
I worked in retail and then food and beverage. and now started my own company, and I'm happy where I'm at. So you go through all these, sometimes trials and tribulations, but you get where you want to be at, and I'm happiest right now.
That's excellent. One more thing on this topic, and I listen to Pastor T.D. Jenks quite a bit, his podcast, and he always has some really interesting statements. And one statement recently that he said was, sometimes your dream has to die for your destiny to live. So there we go. Oh, okay, there we go. I don't know how to work this phone, but no. But he says sometimes your dream has to die so that your destiny can live, and I thought that was a really interesting thing. But you said something I think derails a lot of people. I mean, and it's interesting because when people talk about their own business, oftentimes they focus on just the idea of it. And what you said very specifically was you went home and the first thing you did was write out a business plan. And you had very specific actions and things you had to get done. So a lot of people don't go from idea to the business plan to the execution, because that's the work. The idea is great, but then the work comes in. So talk about how you were able to transition and really focus on getting the business plan done.
Well, it's already in your head. You know what you want to do. It's already planned in your head. But if you don't put it on paper the right way, so you can really receive the idea, it's not going to happen. And then also, not just putting it on paper, I got with people that knew about business plans to help me rewrite that business plan the correct way. And once we had the parameters and everything about what I wanted to do with C.D. Wilson Events, whether it's wedding planning, event planning, catering, we put it all together.
Excellent.
And that's when we started. Once we put the plan together, then we start putting it to effect. And implement the plan. And we did. And thus far, we became C.D. Wilson Events.
Excellent. Well, and on that note, I want to welcome everyone that has just tuned in on Facebook Live. We're having a great discussion with Carl Wilson, the CEO and founder of C.D. Wilson Events. And you mentioned event planning, weddings, occasions, and there's a lot of different things we're going to talk about. This is a Break It Down Brown show. We just broke down a little bit about his background. So I think it's important to know and learn the backgrounds of the business owners that come on the show, because that gives you some insight into how they run their business, and I'm always impressed with everyone's background. So off camera and when we were talking before the show, you mentioned 17 events that you try to do per year, right? And you probably do more, but so I mean, talk about going from this idea of a company to the business plan, which I don't know if you had the idea of having so many different events, or did that expand over time? Kind of talk about that.
Well, I had the idea of mainly starting the wedding company, the event planning company. We implemented and did that. Then the other idea about the promotion side of it, doing individual type of promotion events, we started that as well. And we started with doing bridal shows and mother and daughter teas a lot of years ago. And then from that point, we started planning other type of events. I said, well, I can do these two. Then I can do a jazz fest. I can do a mother and daughter tea. I can do a Mommy and Me. I can do a tribute to Michael Jackson this year, which we're doing this year.
Excellent.
I can do anything I want to do. You know what I mean? Once we put it on paper, and my key person, Lisa, puts it on paper, and she does the flyer. And then we talk about it in a staff meeting, then we implement it. And once it's done, it goes on social media, and that's when we start promoting.
You know what? This is fascinating because what I'm hearing is that you do a lot of your own events, organic events that you think of, your team thinks of, but you also do events for other people. What's the balance between the two, and are they different in your mind?
They're different because the wedding planning side of it is totally different. From the wedding planning side of it, I'm working with a bride from A to Z, from her decor, her invitations, table settings, fittings, everything. That's a whole different system. On this side, it's a lot more fun because each theme event has its own cycle in a way. From the Michael Jackson tribute that we're doing a video for it, which will go on social media today as we talk.
Excellent.
It's about Michael Jackson, and when we have the event, we're gonna have kids, we're gonna have a fashion show, we're gonna have everybody dressed like Michael that day. So it's great. All my events are themed, separate from the other side of the business.
And so I'm going to put you on the spot real quick. My birthday's coming up in October, and when I was younger, in my 20s, I used to always hold events for my birthday. I had an 80s disco, I had a 70s party. I would rent out clubs, and I would have I had a bachelor auction one time. It was all for charity. I haven't done that in about 20 years. My birthday's coming up. People are saying, JaMarr, when are you going to?
When is your birthday?
October 5th.
My birthday is October 27th.
Okay, wow. Well, great man. You're a great man. So just, I want to do something for my birthday. And I say, what if I were to sit down with and call your company and say, you know, Carl, my birthday's coming up. I want to do something, you know, for my friends and family, something fun, and I want it to be for charity. How would you work with someone like me?
Well, number one, I want to know your theme, what your mind thought is on your theme for your birthday, location, how many people, your budget, what you want to spend. And because, you know, the budget makes a huge difference on how much we can do for either that theme.
Yes.
But once we have your theme, your budget, the outline of what you want, then we have a staff meeting, my staff, and then we go to work as far as making sure everything that you want for your birthday is done within the parameters, the budget, everything. And if you want to do if you want to do it to a factor, you want to give a portion of those proceeds to charity. I need to know what charity it is.
Okay.
And we want to invite. Obviously, I would love to invite the person that's over that charity to your event. See what I'm saying? So they can actually receive that money on the spot. Because at my events, when we have a charity, whether it's Make-A-Wish Foundation, American Cancer Society, St. Jude's, we make sure they're there. We get a free booth, and then at the end of the event, we call them up and we give them some money.
That's excellent. Well, I think I'll be calling you.
Okay. I would love to definitely do your birthday.
Well, you know what? I like when I do it. I like to go big and really do something nice for my friends and family. So. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun with what you do. I could tell. Your energy is clear.
No, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Well, I was going to ask you about the work part because I assume there are some challenges that you deal with. So what are some of the key challenges that you face at your company or doing the different events?
Well, I think because we do so many events a year, the challenge is the marketing side of it.
Okay.
Because each event, we put a certain amount of people that work within the company on a certain event.
Okay.
So the challenge is getting those people to, you know, the vendorships, the sponsorships, the ticket sales, which makes a huge difference for the crowd of people to actually come in and support the events and the charity.
Okay.
So it's not really a challenge because I'm with them. I work on each one of my events with my people. So it's a challenge, and it's not a challenge in a way because we get it done in the end.
Okay.
You know, it's going to be an event and all that kind of in that manner. But as far as the events themselves, they run pretty good. I'm at every event. When the vendors get there at the registration table, we put them where they're supposed to be at the event.
Okay.
When the guests get there, we seat them, and we start the events pretty much on time.
Excellent. Well, and what's been your proudest moment as a business owner of CD Wilson Events?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. It's been a lot of events that we've done. I mean, a lot of events over the years. But I think the proudest moment, and will be my proudest moment, is All Women Rock.
Okay.
I'm serious. I've done some great things with a lot of different events. This event is catching fire, and it's doing very well. But I think my momentous moment is going to be All Women Rock.
Okay, and we're gonna talk a lot about All Women Rock in just a couple of minutes. Before we get there, what is something that you would want people to know that separates you from other event planners? Because just like myself as a radio host or an author or a speaker, or a consultant, everyone says, well, they're a dime a dozen. I don't believe that because I believe everyone's book, everyone's consulting program, every coach out there has information that is absolutely incredible, and it may not hit. Different people are affected by different things, and so I celebrate all people that are doing something. But I still believe that I'm different. I still believe that something separates me. So asking you that question, what separates you from other event planners?
What separates me from a lot of event planners is that we diversified our business.
Okay.
Wedding planner, event planner, caterer, and promotions company. It's not many event planners do all four of those facets. See what I'm saying? And also, as a event planners are more geared towards planning a birthday party, quinceañera, that type of event. They're not on the promotion side of planning promotional events. So it separates me that I do the whole facet of four areas, and lots of them don't. Okay,
excellent. Let's talk about All Women Rock. And, as you were talking about the different events that you do, quinceañeras and weddings, I believe I heard there's a lot of events geared towards women. Is that by design, or is there a specific, focus, or?
It's always that I meet with and sign contracts with. So it's always been for the last 17 years a women-based business.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people that come to my shows, whether it's a bridal show, mother and daughter tea, which is coming up in September.
Excellent.
And the bridal show in November. I do my own bridal show every year, women-based.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So all my events, we get men that come to my events, their wives stuff is always pretty much women.
Okay.
So we're a women-based company.
Excellent. Well, we have a mutual friend in common who runs a phenomenal business, Shelly, who runs Luminary Leaders, and I was part of that team for a while. I'm still very connected to them. I know that you have a connection with her, and so let's talk about All Women Rock. Tell us where that idea came from, and then how you're partnering with her to bring this great event.
Well, I used to look at a program on TV, I still do, called Black Women Rock.
Yes, which is a phenomenal.
BET.
Absolutely.
And I was impressed by how they put that together, recognizing not only the upper age woman, but the young kids also that are making a difference in the community.
Right.
So with that said, over the last couple of years, 3 years, I've always wanted something to do gearing towards women.
Okay.
And I think it was about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and something hit me and say, "Why don't you do All Women Rock?" You get these ideas, you have to write them down at nighttime. And I did. And I passed it by Lisa, my assistant, and a couple other people. They said, "Yeah, you should do that."
Okay.
And that's pretty much how it formed. So we started doing it. I'm pretty much on our own, but we felt like we needed some help. Okay. And we needed a publicist, Shelly Harrison.
Yes.
So we talked. I talked to Shelly, and she thought she could help, and boy, did she help.
No, she's incredible.
She's incredible.
So let's do this. Let's talk about this event because I am passionate about just any event that celebrates people. We have a show here where it's called the Celebrate You Show, and we bring in people, the pastor and I, and we celebrate them in a world where there's so much divisiveness and there's so much angst and people are fighting each other. Nobody's listening. Everybody's in their own camp, which we think is ridiculous here at KCWG as part of the Break It Down Brown Show. We bring on people that have different perspectives and we celebrate them. And so an event that's going to celebrate women, I think, is extremely important. And for myself personally, having a daughter who is my inspiration for my life, who'll be 16 next month.
I understand.
I'm excited for her to go to the program, be a part of it, and see women being celebrated.
Exactly.
So tell me, what is really the purpose of the event?
The purpose of the event, I think, is to change lives, number one.
Okay.
So I think there are a lot of young ladies that have went to college, some have not went to college, that are in high school, that have aspirations to be great.
Okay.
So selecting these moguls, these wonderful women, these women doing great in the world that are leaders, mentors, set the foundation. Okay. I think it's going to inspire these young ladies because we plan to have a group of young ladies there to listen to these guest speakers, to look at these wonderful women getting these awards. But they're getting awards for what they've done in the community as humanitarians, their business, and how they conduct themselves in the world. That's why I'm awarding these women, and it's going to be fun. We got entertainment.
Okay.
We got a group called Unsung Lily. They have more of that Wilson Phillips feel.
Okay.
But they are bad.
Excellent.
Great fashion show.
Okay.
We're going to open up the show with the Me Too program.
Okay.
I know you heard about that. So we're going to have a lot of people, similar to what we're doing with the signs.
Okay.
We're going to have people on my models on each side of the floor with CIM production models on the other side of the floor holding up signs.
Okay.
Basically, we're not going to take this anymore. You know what I mean? These women work hard, and they deserve the respect. I'm not saying men disrespect women. Every man disrespects a woman, but it's the Me Too program.
Right.
They want to be recognized, but they want to be recognized right. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And welcome to this world as powerful women. And I think, myself personally, I really think it's a woman's world now.
Right.
I'm just, there are very successful women out there.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And here's a flyer right here. I don't know how well everyone can see it, but you have some heavy hitters. You have Tanya Brown, who I've met, who's a wonderful, wonderful lady. Author and sister of Nicole Brown Simpson. I know she speaks all over the world. You also have Amanda Collins, a model actor, positive advocate.
Yes.
She's with the Mistress of Ceremonies. Now that's all this on here. There's a women's motorcycle showcase. So tell me about that.
We were just about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We were talking. I was talking with a friend of mine at lunch, and she was saying, "Why don't you have women that ride rock?" I'm like, give me an idea what you mean.
Okay.
A lot of these women that ride on the weekend are moguls and very successful, but this is just their weekend thing where they like to ride with their groups.
Okay.
And so we put it together and we did some homework on it. very successful women ride a motorcycle on the weekends, and they're in groups. So we decided to invite them out to All Women Rock. And if you look on the flyer, we're going to give them something for best bike and all that. But the thing is, we want to represent them as well.
That's excellent. And the event is Sunday, October the 14th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Ontario Airport Hotel.
Yes, sir.
It's a great location. I've been to a number of events there. Once again, Sunday, October the 14th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Ontario Airport Hotel. You definitely want to be there. I recently got a call. I don't know if you knew this or not, and I was asked to be part of the program. And so I plan on being on stage, being a part of the event, and recognizing the women. Yes. I think I'm going to announce the award winners.
Shelley mentioned that to me, yes.
So I'm very much looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it also.
So let's do this. I mean, since we're on talking about the All Women Rock program, I have a list of the award recipients, and
it's a big list.
It's a big list. There's 31 people on this list, and I think it's important in the spirit of celebrating and recognizing people. I would just like to read off the names of these individuals.
I would love you to.
Okay, and what's great about this is I know a number of them. A number of them I've shared the stage with over the years. Some of them have been on the TV show I used to have, the radio show, and so these are some powerful, amazing women. So. And I don't want to, mess up anyone's name. So, so I'm looking at, there's 31 names. I think it's important to recognize them. So we have Desiree Guten, Liz Kahn, Costa Rita, Michelle Skilgen, Mary Parks, Hilda Kennedy, Jennifer O'Farrell, Cecilia Mota, Heather Froglier, Keanu Webb, Livia Ramirez, Carla Adams, Mayor Aquanetta Warren of Fontana, Kimberly Lessing, Patty Cotton, Elaine Norland, Deborah Murphy, Adrienne Nagel, Lucy Silva, Dr. Betty Uribe, Sheila Romansky, Kelly Holmes, Nancy Millett, Alice Juarez, Naja Ruivas, Diana Norris, Juliet Mitchell, Dr. Susan Finnick, Lena Patel, Juliet Mitchell, Pam Vincent, and Dr. Cami De La Valle. Whew, man, there's some heavy hitters on that.
No, it's some heavy hitters.
That's going to be great.
Be great.
I plan on being there with my daughter. And we have a few minutes left, and I'd like to talk about people's legacy. And I think that's something that oftentimes, people think about their legacy at the 11th hour of their life, or it's too late, and they end up in a obituary with a couple of paragraphs, and people don't really know who they really were. So I like to give people that come on the show a chance just to talk about, what would you like your legacy to be? And you're obviously living that legacy now, but at the end of everything, what would you like people to have said about you or your business?
Well, at the end of the day, when it's 10 years later from now, when it's all said and done.
Hopefully it's 20, 30 years later.
Exactly. Well,
don't put a time frame on it.
Number one, I want to leave a legacy for my son.
Okay.
He's Carl D. Wilson III.
Okay.
And that's my heart.
Okay.
And, as a 17-year-old, you go through your trials and tribulations, advancing to those ages
Absolutely.
and stuff. But he works with me from time to time, doing a lot of these events. He seems to love it.
Okay.
And I also have my own model company also.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's on Facebook, C.D. Wilson Events Models, Inc.
Okay.
And those are the models that'll be at All Women Rock as well. But he seems to like the modeling as well.
Okay.
He's a little lost right now. We know that kids don't know exactly what they want to do.
Right.
But as far as a legacy, I want to leave it to him.
Okay.
But I want him to leave a legacy knowing that his dad worked hard for his own company, really hard. And you have your trials and tribulations with your own business.
Right.
But I want him to know that if he can work hard like Dad did, he could be his own boss. He can have his own crew, his own staff. The biggest legacy is for people to know that I care.
Okay.
I care about people. I care about the events I do. I have a lot of passion for what I do. And I think anybody else that has a legacy, when they leave that legacy, they left with a lot of passion. And they want people to know I was very passionate about my company.
Excellent. And Carl, I, God blessed me with a lot of intuition, and I'm able to get a feeling from people pretty easily. And, we only bring people on the show that we know that what they say is what they do.
Yeah.
And you are someone who obviously is someone that is very passionate about your business. You care about your clients. That comes through very clear. The level of detail you talked about in terms of the process of working with people was very much appreciated. And I think you're just doing some tremendous things.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, the thing is, with me, if I take on a project, you're going to get 110%. Okay. And just like I said in the beginning when we were talking, there's no failure. in it. If the project does not work to how you want it to, it was an experience, not a fail.
Right.
And I've had events to where they wasn't totally great.
Right.
In 17 years, everything is not going to be great, but you tried. You know what I mean? You did your job and you had the event. But then on the other side of the coin, we had some outstanding events that were wonderful.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? And like All Women Rock, for example, then the mother-daughter tea that Shelly Harrison helping me with also. The mother-daughter tea is 17 years running.
Wow.
And we celebrate mothers and daughters. And we're going to give awards away at that event as well, September 23rd, a month before the All Women Rock event.
Okay.
And we're celebrating mothers that have made a difference to their daughter.
Okay.
So that's going to be a fun event as well.
Excellent. I have one more question for you. Actually, I want you to react to something. Then we're going to close, and I want you to give out your information so that everyone can get in touch with you for all of your different events. In particular, the All Women Rock event coming up October the 14th, from 10 to 2 p.m. at the Ontario Airport Hotel. One of my mentors told me, and you seem to epitomize this in my mind, but he told me, whenever I had an idea, because, for example, this show evolved. I mean, at first, it was just a conversation with friends in the backyard, and I said, look, we need to get to know each other better. I know we're having a good time, but do I really know you? And so we started asking questions and having deep discussions that turned into the creation of a TV show, to a radio show, to this book, Break It Down Brown book. But my point in saying that all is my mentor was behind the scenes pushing me, and every single time I came up with an idea to expand this Break It Down Brown idea, he would say, JaMarr, you haven't thought of your greatest idea yet. Over and over again, he would say, you haven't thought of your greatest idea yet. And at times it would frustrate me because I thought I had a brilliant idea. But because of that concept, I kept creating. And the sky's the limit for people that believe that. So it sounds like you epitomize that. Just react to that statement. You haven't thought of your greatest idea yet.
I think, in a way, you're right. I have not, because I am a diversified company in 4 different areas, and I think I'm doing great here. I'm doing great here. I'm doing great here. I'm doing great here. But still, again, there's something missing. You know what I mean? You're doing a great event with All Women Rock,
right?
And you want something else to top that in the future,
right?
You know what I mean? For your legacy, number one. So the greatest idea, I feel like I haven't done, but I think I'm working on that idea. Excellent. And I think it's going to be with the Michael Jackson tribute.
Okay.
Because we put together a system to where we're going to give money, portion of those proceeds to children in Africa.
Excellent.
You see Oprah Winfrey doing it. You see a lot of people doing it, but as a country, we really don't celebrate Africa. I think a lot of people do send money to help those kids over there, but C.D. Wilson Events is going to start as of this year, 2018, doing that. And also from our Jazz Fest that we're doing December 2nd, Winter White Jazz Fest, a portion of those proceeds for the holidays is going to the children in Africa.
That's wonderful.
We're doing a toy drive and everything, and all those toys that we get at that time are going to be shipped to Africa.
Excellent. Well, you're doing some tremendous things. So tell our audience on Facebook and on the internet, radio, how they can get involved with your business, how they can contact you, how they can learn about the events. Please let us know how that can happen.
You can learn about the events. Go to cdwilsonevents.com. My assistant Tyra Lisa has everything listed as far as events on our website. If you need information, call me directly, Carl Wilson, 951-241-5343. I got the answer. These are my events. And if you also need to contact someone else, it'd be Shelly Harrison. And you can DM her on Facebook, Instagram for any questions about the All Women Rock event.
Excellent. Well, it was an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Everyone, we've been speaking with Carl Wilson, who's the CEO, owner, and founder of C.D. Wilson Events, and has some tremendous programs and events. And definitely, log onto the website, give them a call, learn more about them. And I would encourage everyone to go to the All Women Rocks event, October the 14th, from 10 to 2 p.m. at the Ontario Airport Hotel. I will be there with my daughter and just having a phenomenal time. And Carl, just thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I just have one more thing to touch on real quick.
Sure.
As far as celebrating women, all women should be celebrated. All women are equal, because we have a woman that's a president of a company, and we have a woman that's trying to get somewhere in life. Right. Still, she rocks, and
Absolutely.
She rocks to me because she's trying to get there.
Right.
A woman that's out on the streets don't want to be there, but she's trying to develop herself and get back to where she used to be, because everybody out there used to be somebody.
Right.
So to me, if you're trying to get back to this level, you rock to me. Wow. So all women rock. I just want to say that.
No, I appreciate you saying that. And the bottom line is this. and now that we're on this subject, we'll just take a couple more minutes. What I believe is that everyone is equal, and I really truly believe that the only thing that separates people, because everybody that is born has a desire to succeed, has a desire to do well, wants to to achieve things. It's just an innate thing inside of us. The difference is information.
Yes.
I mean, some people are around certain people that give certain information and you have better access. Other people aren't. So the things that you're doing with the mother-daughter tea, with the all-women wax program, with the Me Too events that you're doing is just showing people that this is the information that you need to help you succeed, to achieve your dreams in life. And we're going to surround you with people that are doing it. And I absolutely love that.
Information is power. Knowledge is power. If you get the correct information, it's powerful.
Right. And the last thing you have to do is take action.
Take
just
action.
like Carl
Take
Wilson
action. Yes,
did,
take action.
Back in those days
Thank you, I
when
appreciate
Dove Canyon, when you said, you know what, I love doing this for other people.
Yeah.
It's time to do it for myself. And we're very happy that you did.
Thank you. Appreciate
Carl,
it.
thank you so much.
It's
It
been
was
a
my pleasure. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Everyone, let me sign off. Everyone, you've been watching the Break It Down Brown Show with your host, JaMarr Brown, here live at the KCWG, The Truth internet radio station, the best internet on the planet. And this show is all about breaking it down, highlighting people, promoting people, celebrating people, and really understanding what is behind the person so that we could all learn how we can pull those nuggets to help improve our lives, because as we do, we better the lives of every other person out in this world. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing everybody on the next Break It Down Brown very, very soon. Take care.
See you. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.